Hey y'all, good afternoon. It's Ned over at My Philippine Dreams, and to the E to the D over at MPD, coming at you from Dumaguete City, the city of gentle people, Negros Oriental, the Philippines, area code 6200, in case you're interested in getting a hold of our fan club. Let's talk about the poor. When I first came here, I was told by other expat foreigners living in the Philippines not to give money to the poor, not to give money to the street kids, because it would foster and create a welfare dependency state. They would become dependent on handouts from other people. They also told me that a lot of times the kids were just buying rugby, which is basically an adhesive glue that has psychotropic properties, and they were taking the rugby, huffing it all day, and just getting high with the money. Alternatively, they said that the money would be used for some criminal organization like MILF, BIFF, one of those acronyms, or their parents are sending them out to get money for their shabu habit or red horse habit. So when I first got here and the street kids would come up to me holding little brown hands out, I would rebuff them. I would say, nope, wala ko, I got nothing. And then one day I noticed that other Filipinos were giving money to the poor. And then I noticed that Michelle was giving money to the poor street kids. And Michelle at that time, and still to this day, is making less money than I am, a lot less money than I am, but somehow she has the wherewithal to give money to the poor. And when I asked her about it and I was talking to her about it, she said it's just part of the culture here to support the poor because there are no social programs in place to take care of them. There's no Section 8 housing, there's no food stamps, there's no subsidized health care, so if a person doesn't eat, they don't eat, and that's not a good thing. So after seeing Michelle and after seeing other Filipinos giving money to the poor, I started giving money to the poor. And I do it pretty regularly now. In Dumaguete isn't a big city, it's kind of a small city. It's a city where after a while you start to know everybody. You recognize the same street kids over and over again. Around Christmas time, yeah, you'll have the Badjao coming in from Mindanao, and they'll have usually it's a mother with a baby. People say it's not her baby, she just rents it. I don't know why they have this rent-a-baby program. And sometimes the police will come around and put them in vans and ship them back to Mindanao, and then they'll come back anyways. So, but what I'm saying is the kids that I see and the kids that I give money to regularly, I see all the time. They're basically street kids. Michelle and I have talked to them on numerous occasions, and the stories are pretty similar. The father usually has abandoned the family, is in Luzon somewhere. For some reason, they always end up in Luzon. And the mother's a prostitute. She's strung out on shabu, and she's having multiple children. And for me not to give money and for me to see this as creating a welfare dependency state or worried that they're going to use it for some nefarious means, it really doesn't add up. It really doesn't work for me. So I give money to the street kid. I don't see it as a big deal. I don't see it as a problem. Although when you get into bigger cities like in Manila and Cebu, the street kids and the beggars there can be very aggressive. They'll actually put their hands on you. There was one instance when I was in Cebu, and his mother pointed me out, and the kid came running up with a cut-off plastic bottle, and I didn't have any money on me. Otherwise, I would have given him something. So I said, I got nothing, kid, sorry. And he laughed and scratched my arm with the cut-off plastic bottle, the jagged edge, and he drew blood. And I was just like, damn, man, that's crazy. So in some areas, yeah, they can be a little aggressive, but where we are in Dumaguete, it's not a big deal. They're not that aggressive. They're very well behaved. Usually, 9 times out of 10, if you say, I got nothing, they'll just be like, okay. And also, if you follow our Facebook page, you'll see there was a time this past week when there was a bunch of street kids around one of the Tocino areas, one of the street barbecue areas, and they were asking for money, and I just bought them a bunch of food. I bought them a bunch of barbecue. And they'll usually say thanks and stuff, but afterwards, and this was the first time this happened, every single one of those kids came up as a group and thanked me for dinner. And that's pretty mind-blowing. And that's one of the rewards of giving selflessly and not expecting anything in return. It makes you feel good. It's a win-win scenario for all involved. They're getting the food, and you're feeling better about doing something with your money. As foreigners, as Westerners, we tend to have a hell of a lot more money than most of the population in the Philippines. And sharing that isn't a problem for me. So, giving to the poor. I do it, Michelle does it, I see other Filipinos do it, and if I see other Filipinos generally doing something, I'll see that as an indication that it's the right thing to do. Like when I first got here, I saw them wearing their jackets backwards, their raincoats backwards, and I was like, that's ridiculous, that's stupid. And then I was driving along with my raincoat zipped up in the front, and all the water gets through the zipper. So that's the reason that they wear their stuff backwards. I also noticed them taking naps, taking time off in the afternoon because it's hot and it's time to relax. And now I take naps and I take siesta. So actually it's almost siesta time and I gotta get to it. That's talking about the poor. That's my own personal policy. Other people might have different policies. If you do, leave it in the comments section. Give a thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. And this is Ned over my Philippine Dreams, and I'll see you next time. Here's 5 pesos. Peace.